Tonight is a major victory for democracy in Ohio. The majority still rules in Ohio.
We have some breaking news out of Ohio tonight, where voters went to the polls in an election with just one single issue with a whole lot of implications. The Associated Press has now called the race. Ohio has rejected ballot issue 1 with about 57% of the state voting no. Now, that number is with about 52% of precincts reporting, according to unofficial results from the Ohio Secretary of State. Ballot issue 1 was a measure to raise the threshold for changing constitutional amendments. Essentially, it would have made those amendments harder to pass. In gerrymandered states, especially, ballot referendums on constitutional amendments have become some of the only ways that voters can make their voices heard, especially when it comes to big-ticket issues like reproductive choice. Not coincidentally, there is one such referendum on this November's ballot in Ohio, one that, if it passes, could protect abortion rights and stands a very good chance of passing, especially with the results we have tonight. And that is why Republicans in the state tried to make it harder to get those sorts of referendums passed. Now, there has been record-breaking turnout in this August election, which is somewhat ironic because earlier this year, state Republicans voted to eliminate August elections, citing the traditionally low turnout for elections at this time of year. But those very same Republicans changed their minds this summer because presumably that traditionally low turnout would have benefited them on this issue specifically. Having said that, as of last Friday, more than 578,000 people had already cast their ballots, which is more than twice the number of people who voted early for the 2022 primary. Joining me now is Katie Paris, founder of Red Wine and Blue, a group of suburban women working to counter right-wing extremism, who also opposed ballot issue 1. Ms. Paris, thanks for being here tonight. I suppose congratulations are in order. This is an issue that you guys fought hard for. Can you talk to me about what women were telling you about ballot issue 1 and what motivated them to go to the polls in Ohio, a state that is reddish, if not red entirely?
Oh, well, women were very clear in their rejection of extremism in this election. And there's no doubt that our desire, that our demand to get our reproductive rights back is a huge motivating force in this election. But voters, suburban women, are who we represent, and it's just incredible to see these election results tonight. You know, counties in the suburbs that actually went for Republicans in the U.S. Senate and governor's race in 22 are voting overwhelmingly no tonight. And we're also even seeing that in our sort of exurban, more rural counties, too. It's just incredible. These counties, some of them, J.D. Vance won by 60, 70%. They are voting no, too. And in my own county, Cuyahoga County, which is one of our urban counties where Cleveland is, but also has tons of suburbs, this is one of the places where we had to go big. And in 2022, our turnout just wasn't enough to carry the state. But we are seeing a dramatic difference tonight. Just turnout is blowing everyone out of the water, everyone's expectations. It is good to be an Ohioan tonight. And I think the ramifications are huge, not just for the rejection of extremism in Ohio, but Republicans, they have gone too far all across this country. It's not just Trump. And this is a big message against extremism tonight.
Yeah, on that note, I mean, certainly abortion seems to be a driver that continues to bring Democrats, independents, and some Republicans out to the polls. But this was beyond just that. These were sort of anti-democratic tactics that were being embraced to make it harder for voters to get their voices heard. And I wonder, you know, how that fit into, you know, the portfolio of reasons why people were going out. I'm wondering if you heard, not just from women, but for independents who understood this to be what it is, which was, again, a way of muzzling, if not censoring, the voices of Ohioans who have a tough time getting legislation passed, given the gerrymandered nature of the state.
It was very blatant. At Red Wine and Blue, you know, actually a third of our members are former Republicans and independents. And if Republicans keep trying things like this, those numbers are just going to continue to grow. This was absolutely not just Democrats rejecting extremism. This was independents and Republicans as well. It was so transparently a power grab and just going way, way too far. And, not only that, I think that they really expected, hey, we're just going to sneak this through. This will be a low turnout election. No one will notice. But then they saw these huge numbers coming out in early voting. So they cranked up their disinformation machine. It has been a shame to see what we have seen across the state in the last few weeks. There has been huge attempts to drive fear into the hearts of voters. Even my group and me personally, we've been targeted as these targets of disinformation. But what we've seen tonight is that doesn't work, that voters see through the disinformation. There has been backlash to that. I have had women across the state telling me that it has just motivated them not just to vote, but to reach out to their friends and to their family and make sure that everybody is voting no in this election. This is about our democracy. It's about our values. It's about being able to have a voice in our state. And that went way beyond any partisan lines.
Can I ask, are you as bullish on the passage of the ballot referendum in November that would enshrine a woman's right to choose into the state constitution? The numbers track almost evenly in terms of support for that with opposition to ballot issue 1. Do you think that this is the same sort of turnout will be the case in November?
I have never been more excited to vote yes in November, and that is what I am hearing from voters across the state tonight. Red, White, and Blue was a big part of this amazing coalition across the state collecting signatures. You might know we collected 710,000 signatures to put reproductive freedom on the ballot. That effort started in March. Every single voter that we spoke to, we said, okay, you're signing to put reproductive freedom on the ballot in November, but first you got to vote no in August. Then you get to vote yes in November. And we're just so excited for that opportunity tonight. And we know every poll shows, I don't trust every poll, but every poll from everyone shows that 57, 58, 59% of Ohio voters will support this reproductive rights amendment. Some of these numbers are just incredible. 85% of independent women support the reproductive rights ballot initiative. So yes, I'm very excited. I'm proud to be an Ohioan tonight, and I do expect good results in November.
Well, congratulations on your work tonight. Katie Paris, founder of Red, Wine, and Blue. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.